Hello and welcome back to Time of Refreshing. I'm your host, James Cleveland Jones, and guess what? You're in the right place at the right time. Listen, I'm excited that you're with us again on tonight, but I tell you the same thing every time you tune in. Pick up your phone, call your friends, call your family, call your loved ones, even call those who call themselves your enemies and let them know that TOR, that's Time of Refreshing, we're on the air and we're here to lift up the name of the Most High God, who is Jesus the Christ. As you know, I love bringing guests on who experience life, and all of us in one form or another have experienced life. And I love to see those people that go through circumstances and hardships, but yet they come out victorious and triumphant. And I'm excited tonight because I've got a very special guest on with me tonight who she has an amazing story, an amazing testimony. And she just talks about how she's gone through her go-through, but she still came out victorious. I want you to just take a moment and help me to welcome right here to Time of Refreshing, my friend Satara Williams right here. God bless you. Thank you so much for being with us today. Thank you so much for being on. I'm so glad that you're here to tell us about your story.
Oh, yes.
So, Satara, tell the world, who is Satara Williams?
Satara Williams is a child of God who loves God.
Come on
with
now.
her hearts.
Come on.
That's
Amen.
who Satara Williams is.
That's what I'm talking about. I love that. So you wrote a book.
Yes.
And we're excited because what's the title of your book is what?
Tears of a Woman from Sadness to Joy.
I love that. And we're going to just start off, and I just want to get a little background about you. Tell me about where you're from and that kind of thing.
Well, I was born and raised in Miami, Florida.
Okay, awesome.
I live in the Liberty City area.
Awesome.
I'm a Habitat homeowner.
Wow.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes.
Amen. God is good.
All the time.
Come on,
All
wonderful.
the
So
time.
just providing for his children.
Yes.
So tell me about this book that you wrote.
Well, when I got a divorce a while back, I was sitting on a bus stop crying uncontrollably.
Wow.
When I heard the voice of the Lord say, Tears of a Woman. When he first gave me that title, I had no idea was it going to be a play, a movie, or a book.
Interesting.
So it took a while, and I kept relating the story to other people. And I started up and applied for a Habitat housing. And I said, Lord, my faith, I'm a faith believer.
Amen.
I
Amen.
believe God.
Amen.
And I say, Lord, now I want a home.
Yeah.
Because I done been in HUD housing.
Come on.
I done been in an apartment building. But I want to believe God for my home.
Come on now.
And when I got a divorce, I hit rock bottom. And I had my kids, and what I did was I had to move in with my brother. And when I moved in with him, I walked down the sidewalk with my kids, and I would go to different homes and touch the houses and believe God for my own home.
Come on now. Talk about faith, girl.
Ah, yes.
Come on.
And the Lord, when I was living in a 2-bedroom, because I'm a mother of 4.
Okay.
And I had 2 grandbabies at that time.
Okay.
And we was living in a 2-bedroom apartment.
Wow.
So I went to work, and my coworker, her name is Miss Dean, and she said, I applied for this program, Habitat Housing. And to make a long story short, she told me about the program. I called, and this beautiful young lady named Miss Monica came, and they interviewed me, blessed me with my home.
Amen.
And now I'm a Habitat homeowner.
Come on, somebody.
She invited me to come to her church. I spoke. I gave my story at
Come
her
on
church.
now. Come on.
And she said, you should write a book.
Awesome.
And I said, okay. I said, but I need help with that.
Yes. Yes.
Then God blessed me to meet another beautiful young lady. Her name is Miss Vicky Correll.
Okay.
I'll assist you in that area.
Come on.
And she assists me in that area.
Right.
So that's how I was able to give birth to Tears of a Woman.
Awesome.
So we're here today because of
Come
that.
on now. So just give me a little background about your story. I'm excited about hearing this.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Well, the book is about searching for love in all the wrong places.
Come on now.
And when, as a child, my parents was on drugs. And through that transition,
Wow.
I said, I'm going to break the generational curse.
You better say it.
Because all of my sisters and my brothers, my sisters, they alcohol and things of that nature.
Wow.
And, having kids, and I myself repeated the same history. I say, but when I met Jesus,
Come on now.
when I fell in love with God,
Come on.
he changed my life.
Wow.
Because I was searching for love in all the wrong places. And my true father, he was a good provider, but he was abusive.
Wow.
More verbally than physical, but still abuse.
Abuse is abuse.
Exactly.
Wow.
So my brother, when we got the divorce and I moved in with my brother, he began to take me to church.
Awesome.
And when he took me to church and I fell in love with Jesus.
Come on now, falling in love.
Ah, yes.
Awesome.
God was an awesome God.
Yes, he is.
But to make a long story short, when we went through the abuse situation, that's what this book is about.
Okay.
Because I want to tell women that God is able.
Yes,
and it's
he
not
is.
over till God says it's over.
Amen.
Because we have a tendency to look for people who we think that's equipped, and God has an appointment for us. And that's where I was. And God gave me a friend as a child. Her name is Warlene Ashley. And we was living in the housing, the projects, raised in the project. To make a long story short, her mother, when I first met Jesus, is the one who introduced, because they took me to church. Now, in my childhood, I never been to church.
You never went to church at all?
No, don't,
as a child?
No. In my home, it was those other words.
Gotcha.
And, you know, alcohol and drugs.
Gotcha.
You ain't got no Jesus going on in that.
Come on.
But you know, and then I was raped
Really?
by one of my stepfathers, who my mom knew.
Wow.
And
How old were you then?
I think 8 or 10. Well, he
Wow.
touched areas that shouldn't be touched.
Right.
I'll say that.
Right, right.
And you know, because as a child, I didn't know the value and of the, you know, and he, you know, he let me in. We was playing with, you know, his little son, and you know, he was like, we was laying down playing Dolly House. You know, how you play with
Yes,
dolls and
right,
stuff
right.
and things of that nature transpired. And that was my first beginning of my silent cry, because when I told my mom,
Wow.
she was said, you know, but she was on drugs. You know,
Right.
she said, "Well, baby, just pray God to give him what He gonna give him." And that's the first time I heard a word about God, but not knowing who this God is. But and I was telling people, and you know, she would of course say, you know, "Oh, don't pay that girl. She retarded. She, you know, they go through the denial thing because we in that time it was what goes on in my home."
Stays in my home.
Of course.
The
So,
devil is a
but to
liar.
get back to the point of this story, when I met this lady named Ms. Vicky Correll, she said yes, it's the move of God right away.
Amen.
So as God used you.
Come on.
And to make a long story short, when I began to tell her my story, because you know my mom was on drugs, and she said, "Tara, it's a wonder that you wasn't on drugs."
Absolutely.
And I said, "I'm breaking a generational curse. I'm not a product of who I have, what I was born in. I'm a child of the King,
Yes, that's right.
and I'm a royal priesthood."
Come on now.
So this book is talking about how to overcome.
Amen.
And I had a daughter that had a bone marrow transplant at 3 years old.
Wow.
She walked into the house and she said, "Mama, feel like my head's gonna fall off my body."
Wow.
And I told her I was at the stove cooking, and I said, "Go ahead and go lay down. And once you lay down," I was cooking a pot of spaghetti. "I'll feed you. I'll send for you later." So the spaghetti was done. My son, he came. I said, "Go tell your sister." She told me her head was hurting. Go tell her, come on, dinner's done. He came screaming and falling down at the top of his lungs, "Mama, mama, mama,
Wow.
something is the matter with Crystal."
Wow.
So I went up to see what was wrong. My daughter's body had turned black,
What?
and her eyes were shining like glass.
Wow.
And when I went up on her and I was calling, she was not responsive.
Wow.
Blood started coming from her ears, from her nose, and her mouth.
Jesus.
And I panicked. I grabbed her. And that time we was living down the street from Jackson Memorial Hospital. And I picked her up and I ran. I did not call 911, but I got her there. And the doctors took her, and when they got her, they went to work. I didn't see her no more until like 1 o'clock that morning.
Wow.
And they say, "Listen, she would die if we don't fly her to St. Petersburg Hospital."
Wow.
Because as fast as they were putting blood in, blood was coming out.
Wow. Hold, you know what? We got about 30 seconds. We're going to take a break here. You've got such an amazing testimony. We want to hear more about this. We're getting ready to take a break, though, and we're going to come back, and I want to hear more about this because you've got so much that you can share about overcoming. Just hold that thought. Listen, you've got to hear this. You've got to finish hearing this amazing testimony, what God has brought her through, not only for herself, but with her family. Don't touch that dial. I'm going to send you over to Diva here in just a second. She's going to play a song for us, and when we come back, we're going to talk to some more to Satara and just hear about where God is taking her. Just go to Diva. Don't touch that dial. Go to Diva. Amen. And we're back live right here, sitting with my honored guest, Satara Williams. I'm so glad we've got the victory through it all, no matter what we have to go through in life. Guess what? We are victorious in Jesus' name. But I need to go back to my guest, my friend. She was telling me about how God was just doing great things, how her daughter was found laying there. I'll let you tell the story. Come on, finish telling us the story about your daughter.
Yes, she was, and when I got her to Jackson Memorial Hospital, and they said she would die if we don't fly her to St. Petersburg Hospital.
Wow.
And I say St. Peter's because I just had a little baby that was less than maybe 6 months old.
Wow.
And I had my oldest son because I'm a mother of 4. And I didn't know, Lord, now how I'm going to get these kids. Because you remember, my mom and them was on drugs. But God always put a ram in the bush.
Come on.
So their father, even though he acts up from time, God used him. He took the rest of the kids to his mom in Georgia. But to make a long story short, when we got to St. Petersburg, they had gave her to me to fly on the plane. She shut down on the plane.
Wow.
And this is when I got to know God for myself. See, it's one thing for somebody to tell you about God, and you know, when you first get saved, you think you got it, but it ain't till you get a trial and a test.
Personal experience.
What you say,
Come
then
on.
you get to know who He is.
Come on.
So I prayed. The only thing I knew at that time, because I still was a young lady, was the 23rd Psalm.
Amen.
And
That's
I
all right.
recited that over and over. But when we got off the plane and we got there, they went to work, and they had to cut her and go back in up to the main line, which I ordered, the main artery, and they went in and hooked up. And I thank God when they hooked up everything and got that thing going, oh my God, I seen the move
to
of God.
God be the glory.
So, you know, after I got through that transition, God is an awesome God.
Yes,
He
He
healed
is.
my baby tremendously.
Amen.
And now she has her own beautiful baby. If
Amen.
you see them, you won't even believe she even went
Amen.
through that transition. That's the kind of God I serve.
That's exactly right.
And so once I told my story to Vicky Carell, this is why we're here. She, wrote the story, and we published it,
Amen.
and I'm able to go and share my story.
Wow.
But I want to say to young ladies, the reason why it's so important for me to be here is that every young woman that have a trial and tribulation, I want to say to them, it's not over till God says it's
Till
over.
God says it's over.
And I don't care if you've been on drugs. I don't care if you go on the streets and do those different things, drugs, prostitution, whatever it is the
Come on,
case
say
might
it,
be.
say it.
It's not over till God
Till
says
God
it's
says
over.
it's over.
You, as long as you got life in your body.
Amen.
You know, God gave me a poem. And this poem goes just like this.
Say it.
It's called A Living Rose. When living a life of a Christian, you should live a life of a rose. And which God created, the heavens and the earth. The purple rose stands for prosperity. The red rose stands for His love. The white rose stands for a pure in heart. The gold rose stands for your crown. A seed of life is a seed from God. He commanded the seed to obey God. He placed the stars high up above to watch the rose to see what it does.
Come on.
The rose told the star, I need some love. When you send me some rain from heaven above, the star say, what would that do? The rose said to purify and multiply, that I will be the rose to never die.
Come on now.
Because I have a right to the tree of life, I will be that rose to blossom, whether it's day or night. The stars look upon the rose and said, roses are red, violets are blue. Little red rose, God love you. You are that seed that's
Yes.
planted by love. God want us to know we are recommended from heaven up above.
Amen.
So be blessed.
Satara, God bless you, girl. Thank you so very much. Listen, you have an amazing testimony, and I know God is going to bless so many by your testimony. You're an overcomer.
Oh, yes.
Tell the world, let the world know that
No.
you are definitely an overcomer.
Yes.
To God be the glory. Listen, go out and buy that book from Satara. I'm telling you, if you want to hear about the awesome, magnificent power of the God that we serve, you need to get that book and just see where God has taken her from. She is a living testimony that we serve a powerful God who can bring you through anything, and He'll always be there to have your back. I'm just so glad that she was able to share with us. To God be the glory. We're getting ready to have another song before we say goodnight to you, and I'm going to send you back over to Diva in just a second. But again, I want you to support Satara in that book, as she's a living example about what God is doing and how He can use anyone for his acknowledgement. To God be the glory. I'm going to send you back to Diva now for our next song. God bless you.